Vladimir Putin has finally responded to the US brokered ceasefire deal, and while he agrees in principle, he has many questions about the terms. Could this be the first step towards ending the war, or just another standoff between Russia, Ukraine, and the West?
We agree with the proposals for the ceasefire, but our position is based on the assumption that the ceasefire would lead to a long-term peace.
Speaking alongside Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, Putin laid out a series of sweeping conditions that Russia says must be met before any ceasefire can take effect.
How can we be guaranteed that none of this is going to happen in the future?
He emphasized that the root causes of the conflict must be addressed. He called for Ukraine to halt all rearmament and mobilization efforts and demanded a complete stop to Western military aid during the proposed 30-day ceasefire.
We have to get this war over with, and you'll be back to a much more normal life.
Trump kept his comments short, but later elaborated from the White House, revealing more details on US negotiations with Russia and Ukraine.
And it doesn't mean anything until we hear what the final outcome is. But they have very serious discussions going on right now with President Putin and others. And hopefully they all want to end this nightmare.
The Kremlin remains wary of the US proposal. Earlier in the day, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov informed US National Security Advisor Mike Waltz that Moscow views the ceasefire as nothing more than a short reprieve for Ukrainian forces.
A temporary ceasefire, what does it give us? It gives us nothing. It only gives the Ukrainians an opportunity to regroup, gain strength, and to continue the same thing.
Adding to the tension, Putin had just returned from a rare battlefield visit to the Kursk region, where Russian forces claim to be on the verge of expelling Ukrainian troops. While Ukraine appears to be withdrawing from Kursk, its forces have managed to stabilize the front in eastern Ukraine, where a Russian offensive has stalled in recent weeks. Hours after Putin's remarks, Trump's close ally and envoy Stephen Witkoff landed in Moscow. His goal? To push forward ceasefire negotiations following US talks with Ukrainian officials in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. After those talks, Ukraine announced its willingness to accept an immediate 30-day ceasefire, and the US presented the proposal to Moscow.
Україна сприймає цю пропозицію. Ми вважаємо це позитивним. Ми готові зробити такий крок. Сполучені Штати Америки мають переконати Росію зробити це.
Observers say Putin is likely to make a series of maximalist demands before agreeing to anything. These could include the full demilitarization of Ukraine, a permanent halt to Western military aid, and a commitment that Kiev will never join NATO. Moscow may also push for a ban on foreign troop deployments in Ukraine and international recognition of Crimea and the 4 Ukrainian regions it annexed in 2022. With so much at stake, negotiations could drag on for weeks, if not months. Will the ceasefire hold, or will it be another diplomatic deadlock?